Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. I'm your brother, Oga, from Hip Hop News Uncensored. Sitting across from me is my co-host.
What it do? What's good? It's your brother Sandman. Viral Hip Hop News.
Yeah.
We're in the building. We are live. Feels good on the official Uncensored Truth Podcast channel.
Yeah.
Oh God, what's up, my brother?
What's good, man? Friday night, as always, man. We on the official Uncensored Truth Hip Hop channel, man, and it feels great, man. About to grow this channel right now, so we just wanted to come rap with y'all just for a few minutes to see what y'all wanted to talk about.
Yeah, man.
You know, tonight, man. Yeah, this is gonna be the channel, man, where it's gonna all go down. You know what I mean? So get used to it, man.
Indeed. Shout out to everyone in the chat room right now. Young Till, he throwing I think that's a Saints jab at you, if I'm not mistaken. Who that?
Already?
Who that? Kansu, what's good, brother? Man, if you got something to talk about this evening, let us know right now. This is the pre-show to the main show.
Yeah.
You already know we go live at 8 p.m. exclusively on Hip Hop News Uncensored.
Yeah.
Real soon, man. Shout out to everyone in the building. We got comments coming through.
Hunter.
Drop your area codes.
Hunter said his name is Sandman. I've been thinking it was Sandman the whole time. Tell him about that.
Oh, here we go. Know what I mean? And you know what? Thank you. I think what you put Sandman in the title.
Yeah, Sandman, no guy. Yep.
Yeah, man. A lot of people hearing Sandman, and that's all good. We just roll with it. You know what I mean? Want to correct anybody because it was a lot of people saying Sandman, but it's Sam Ant. Mm-hmm. My first name is Sam. My middle name is Anthony. We chop it up, Sam Ant, and that's where we get it from. But Sandman dope too. We were trying to market that motherfucker some way, somehow, but it just wasn't working. Ain't had nothing to do with it. But yeah, it's Sandman. Appreciate each and every one of y'all, man, to just support the movement.
Yeah,
man.
No doubt. But you know what y'all got going on, you know, tonight. Let us know if there's any topics. We know the government shutdown is going on. As a matter of fact, you know, if Brother Darren, Consul, y'all want to come and talk about the government shutdown, I'll send both you guys a link. If you have any site, if you're available, let me know.
That's a great idea.
If y'all want to come in and speak about the government shutdown, because I know that you brothers know, a lot about that. So if you're down with it, I'm gonna send a link right now.
Yeah, indeed. And make sure y'all let us know. For the Southern Charm, what's up, love? Indeed, appreciate you guys. Answer some questions while we're in the building right now. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Drop your questions because we can definitely do that for y'all. We got one by, what is that? IJWTMPLTV. Do y'all think R. Kelly should be muted forever? They trying to erase him in full. Now, obviously, we've seen Sony Music. They cut ties with R. Kelly today. This is a money move. When they see the money dry, when they see the situations where you got marketing situations or people starting to throw ridicule at you, yeah, they starting to cut ties. So now they seeing the money dry. So now R. Kelly isn't popular, but it's real crazy because Sony ain't learned anything different from that.
Right.
That whole.
You think he should be muted?
Do I think he should be muted?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it should be left up to the people. I think what's going on right now is they're allowing one set of ideals to dictate the whole world. Now, what he's being accused of is diabolical. It's disgusting. It's absolutely heinous. But there's some people out there that still want to listen to him. They deserve to do that. And you know what I mean? If you don't want to listen to him, don't.
You gotta go buy the CDs.
You turn this. You can stream music. Don't stream it. You go watch it on YouTube. Don't listen to it. Don't go to his shows. Don't support it. He's gonna lose money. I promise you. But if you sneaking under the rug and you talking shit on Instagram, but you still listening to it on YouTube, you supporting the movement. You still genuinely.
Is it an injustice though? Because we still just have allegations. He hasn't been brought up on any official charges, but the consensus is that this brother's a pedophile. You know what I mean? That's the consensus, I would say, overwhelmingly, throughout the world right now. But no charges. Are we wrong? Are we wrong for going about it this way?
No, you can't.
Society.
You can't say we're wrong for going about it as society, because when you look at Aaliyah, she was underage. There's no doubt about that. His lawyer came out and said it, even though they saying that now they're throwing that more so. Let me turn this music down real quick.
No doubt.
They're saying more so that Aaliyah was trying to lie about her age. Now they're throwing that under it. She was underage. And then you got the video. Now, a lot of people are saying that he did it in this video. I seen the video. I say he did it in this video. He wasn't charged of it. Like I said, we've been playing it right down the middle. We continue to play it right down the middle. But to ask, are we wrong, or are people wrong for being upset because he wasn't accused? Nah. Right. Because you got two pieces of evidence right there that people with their own eyes have seen and have a right to put their own judgment to that.
No doubt.
Yeah,
well, other people are asking, they said, what do you think, Sandman, about Star going in on Dame Dash? And he put other person put a star, putting Dame Dash to the fire. We see you, brother Darren. We'll get to you in 1 second. If you can you send that link to Contu for me as well? But Sam, man, what do you think? About Star going in on Dame Dash, man.
Well, we were talking about it a little bit in the pre-production meeting. Star, Hot 97, DJ. Oh, what was he? A DJ? No, not a DJ. A radio host. Real popular. He was up here for a long time, and now it seems like he's just kind of going down. And he's kind of trying to find popularity in any trending topic that's going on. Now, one could say he's quote unquote exposing these people out here, your Charlemagne's, your academics, now your Dame Dashes. But I would ask and beg the question that it seems like he's maybe surfing a little bit. Maybe it seems as though he's riding a wave. Well, I like Star, I respect him, but he's definitely surfing.
But when you think about though, like just to push that to the side, the information that he's trying to bring forth, do you think it's credible? As far as, with Dame Dash, I know you saw some of the broadcasts the other night. He's trying to bring forth information, pretty much say that he was involved in allegedly some sexual harassment type stuff a long time ago. What do you think about him attacking from that aspect, though? Like the information that he's bringing, do you think it's credible?
No,
bullshit.
I said this in the pre-production. I kind of hold Star to like a real good soda. It tastes good, but it really is no substance to it. He's talking a lot of shit, but what is he really saying? What is he really saying? And it's like, your shit don't stink either. So you got to be careful on the road that you ride down. Now, your claim to fame is the troll, you the asshole, this is what you do. But then you even ask yourself, what energy is that bringing you? Because you were one of the top DJs out here, one of the top radio hosts, out here. And now you sit here battling it out on YouTube live every night at 8 o'clock.
Man. Well,
I mean, I'm sorry if I'm wrong.
Nah, I mean, people just wanted to hear, the opinion, and we'll talk more about it later. But we have our man Darren Marion, in the building today. We're going to talk about this government shutdown. We've been getting a lot of requests from people to speak about, that. They say, it's a lot of important stuff going on. So we definitely want to, talk about that. Darren, brother Darren Marion, Retail SEO, Darren Marion's Coffee. Introduce yourself and let us know something about this government shutdown. What do you know, brother?
Right on. Yeah, my name is Darren Marion, Blerd Planet.
Turn your volume up.
Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, better. Yeah, better.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. You good?
All right. Yeah. Blerd Planet, Retail SEO, Darren's Coffee, all that stuff, man. Yeah, with I just started like a Facebook battle because I said Nancy Pelosi has to go. And, now people are just commenting, going down my Facebook feed, commenting now, saying that I'm crazy for saying that. And the reason why I say that is President Trump was given $1.5 billion 2 years ago. For border protection, border protection. They came back 6 months later to the Senate and asked for another. I think it was a Senate Defense Committee or was one of the committees. Anyway, they asked for another $5 billion in funding. They said, "Well, okay, we'll give it to you, but first we need to see some sort of accounting of the money," and that's where they started to have that issue. The issue with Nancy Pelosi is now she says she's not negotiating at all. She's not willing to give up $0 when the Senate has already approved $1.5 billion. So she's holding the process up right now.
I see. That's news to me, about that. So how do we, how does that get resolved? She has to move, I guess, right?
Yeah, she got to move, man. I mean, she just said that, she's not, what the president said, he's not going to pay for them to have her junket where she was supposed to be going like to visit a bunch of different bases. And he said, she's not going to be able to use the government jets. She'll have to fly commercial. She came to him and said, the State of the Union address, maybe it shouldn't be held in the Congress. It should be held somewhere else. So, maybe he should hold it from the White House because she has safety and security concerns. So that's what he said. You know what? We have safety and security concerns about sending you overseas. So you got to go on your own dime.
So Brothers Consul, I see you in the building, brother. You can come in just 1 second. What type of, implications this is having on, let's just say, we know the government workers, but people who may be receiving SSI, welfare, food stamps. What does this mean for them ultimately?
Well, first, I mean, outside the government workers who make they make a lot of money. That's the government job, man. So they make, these people are making a lot of money a year. But what it means for people who, let's say, if you're on welfare, people will have your states are given money by the USDA in order to pay for welfare, in order to pay for SNAP, EBT benefits. So that's where that money comes from. Every month, the USDA gives that money again. So what happens when the USDA is not going to be giving any money? Then then there's a fund. That fund accounts for, it's kind of an emergency fund. So if some states actually didn't meet the deadline to apply for the emergency fund, so that next month, we're going to see some people that are going to be hurting. They won't get any, that USDA won't be able to fund them. So there won't be any money on the SNAP or EBT cards.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. Brother Consul, if you may, could you elaborate further, on this, how it's going to affect, the everyday, people, especially people on welfare, brother, if you can.
Peace, everybody, man. Forgive the tardiness. I'm actually driving on the road right now, but
No worries, brother.
It's definitely going to affect the overall, psychological effects of everyday, operations, because a lot of the federal employees, the TSA employees, you're going to work and you're not going to get paid. And I don't think everyone is really understanding how that affects you psychologically. Imagine getting up, going to work, knowing you're not getting paid. This is before you actually punch that clock. You will not receive a paycheck. That is an unprecedented thing. There are a lot of caveats in the way that this is developing, because there's a bit of egotistical attitudes on both sides with Trump and with the Senate, because the Senate can actually override Trump's veto. The president cannot hold the Senate hostage when it comes to House votes. But now the Senate doesn't want to agree to even veto the president, because you have some Democrats that actually agree with what Trump is arguing. So this is something that's unprecedented. Those that are on assistance and things of that nature definitely will affect them grossly, but it's also going to expose the flaws in that actual program. So it's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds.
Does anybody see any resolution coming anytime soon? Because if this does happen, if it carries on in February and even March, we might see, some catastrophic events, in this country, like what people have been talking about, riots and things like that. What do you guys see happening? Is there any resolution in sight anywhere?
Yeah, I see Nancy Pelosi giving up that $1.5 billion that got approved by the Senate. I mean, that's it, man. I mean, Trump's not going to get. Obviously, he said he's going to push for the wall, and he's promised that. He's promised the wall. Do I see it coming down? I see some other variation of that. Rand Paul is going to be introducing something to the Senate that says when something like this happens again, they're going to lose 1% in funding. The government will then lose 1% in budget for every week that they're out. So, some good things are going to come out of this. That, and of course, Nancy Pelosi, she might step down. I think she's got to go.
How is this shutdown affecting small businesses or startup businesses? Because I know a lot of people say that they're not even really directly affected by it. You got some people out here that have no idea what's really going on, even though it's such national news. It's not directly affecting everyone. So how, and my question would be, how is it affecting like small businesses, business startups, and things like that?
From my knowledge, my knowledge is not. I mean, go ahead, Constantine.
Yeah, it's not going to affect small business at all. It's not going to affect free market. No, it won't affect it at all.
So, I mean, the question I guess I would ask myself is why should I mean, and not to be insensitive to the people who are directly affected by this, but if it's not affecting the day-to-day life of a small business owner or someone starting their own business or free market, what concern is it to theirs?
Really none, man. To me, when the government is not making a decision, then that means everybody's winning. Because when when the government makes a decision on one side, somebody's always losing. And so when you have the person who loses, they want to come back because nobody's a good sport when it comes to something they're so passionate about, like politics. They say, people say, oh, don't discuss religion and politics. So if somebody they're passionate about something, when they lose, when the decision comes on their side where they lose, they're going to come back, and they're going to come back hard. They never remember what happens, what it feels like to lose.
Right. Do you think this would do you guys see this if it does carry on once again through March, do you see it being riots and things like that? Is there ever a time in history that this ever happened and escalated longer than this? Is what I should say.
Yeah, the only time you'll see it get to that level is when our trade value drops. When the US dollar is in fear of losing its trade ability, when we stop importing and exporting, now you got a serious problem. When the US dollar cannot be traded in other parts of the world, you're going to have a serious problem. Because now hyperinflation is going to come in play because we have too much access or bulk access of printed money. That's the only time that you're going to see it hit a street level because the US dollar won't have anywhere to go. So anything of value will lose its value. You start to see depreciation at an alarming rate. When you start seeing foreign vehicles that are sitting on our soil that cannot be traded, and we can't purchase it either, now you're going to start, then you have a problem.
Very interesting. Definitely, to say the least. So what should people do? Anybody who's at this point, what advice can you give anybody who's affected, who may be getting SSI benefits, SNAP, these different subsidies from the government? What should they do at this point? What advice could you guys give them?
Get in touch with the local resources. If you see that there are food pantries or churches or there are stops in places, people will survive. People will feed each other. The goodness in people will come through. So there are going to be resources there. The resources of business just doesn't stop because that happens. People are not going to go hungry. If anything, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So if anything, what somebody needs to do is this should be a sign to yourself to start to really start building up your storehouses when this stuff is over with. Learn how to become self-sufficient or getting away from a job being your what you do. That was the time to think about, all right, how can I move if this happens again? That makes sense.
Absolutely.
Definitely start going into open market, free market merchants, anything from shoestrings to buttons to zippers. Believe it or not, that's the fabric of the American prototype government anyway, is the ability to merchandise needed goods. Supply and demand has always been in place. The problem is with ethnic disbursement and the appearance of decadence on a higher level. And case in point, to blacks in America, we get promoted success through becoming a black athlete as opposed to becoming a black farmer or a black merchant. These kind of things now you got to start paying attention to in your communities. And you can reach out to local food pantries and things like that to start taking care of these immediate fixes. But what you will see, and I know some may not like to hear this, is that the usurpation of public assistance will do us better in the long run. And I think a lot of people don't see that because we've been desensitized to the idea of true independence. So kind of look at it with an open mind. I know it's not comfortable for some. I know it's a moment of anxiety, but really think about those that are on those benefits. A lot of them don't want to be on those benefits and don't even know how to get off of them. They're actually trapped in that benefit package because they don't have options. When you look at the overall requirements that it takes to stay on SNAP, you almost have to stay at a poverty level just to even get those benefits. So just think about that, and everybody start using your resources, man, because there are plenty resources out there.
Right. Can you just school the people out there who aren't aware what government jobs are directly affected by this government shutdown? Because I've seen a number of people in the comment section, shout out to you, saying that their family do have government jobs, but they're not directly affected. And you still see your mailmen, your local trash and recycling. I don't know if that's necessarily a government job necessarily, but what jobs are being affected by this and what jobs aren't, to the best of your knowledge?
To the best of my knowledge, like the Parks Department, United States Parks, these are non-essential. I would say not non-essential, but things that aren't directly affecting security. I believe the TSA has, there may be some fat around the TSA that needs to gets cut out. As far as I know, but a lot of the local services that we receive are all locally based. So that's why that's the beauty of the Republican system that we have, where, every state, we do have states' rights. So every state can move in its own and really have its own economy.
Yeah, you have you have a bunch of them. The most notable, you got the Food and Drug Administration, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Department of Health and Human Services. One of the most volatile ones is one that a lot of people are starting to become concerned about, is the Department of Homeland Security. That's very important, because if those workers decide to say, look, we can't do this anymore, now we don't have security in airports, we don't have security in public federal institutions, we won't have security there. That could become a major problem. It's not in the foreseeable future. This shutdown is not going to last much longer. Trust and know that. But in the event of that happening, really, really look out for Department of Homeland Security and Center for Disease Control. Those two you might want to pay attention to.
Yeah, I know that was huge. They were talking about meat and meat consumption. I don't do all that, but I know that was a real big issue. And then you got the produce. That was a huge issue. And obviously in the airport, what do you see? Let's just play devil's advocate. Because I know, Brother Consul, you said you don't ultimately see this going on much longer. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, we do see it getting stretched out longer. What does that do? Do you see a situation where possible travel can be shut down because there's not proper security in airports? And what do we do as far as food is concerned? Because that's not going to get any better either. So worst case scenario, this drags on. What do you see the ultimate outcome being in those two situations?
It'll be a tax encumbrance that'll be laid over to the American people. Our taxes will be restructured. We'll end up paying maybe 1% to 2% more than what we're paying. The military will come in, such as the reserves. First, it'll be the reserves. They'll take the place of the TSA agents. It's not going to be much change than what you see on a day-to-day basis. It really isn't. The government is just set up as a bureaucracy. So you have agencies that are assigned as tiers to take care of certain responsibilities. So what's going to happen is the U.S. military is going to come in and take over those problems when it comes to Homeland Security. But that will be an encumbrance on me and you. That means that we're going to have to foot the bill for it. That's what that means.
Yeah, that sucks. If that would be the case. Hopefully, they can get this resolved, man, for all parties involved, especially the people that's going to be on welfare. I do understand you say that people, it might be ultimately better for them to be, it'd be taken from them. I agree, but it's going to be some, it's going to be hard at first. I think it's going to be an easy process transition if it does happen. So definitely, Anybody got anything else they wanted to add on the conversation? The floor is open to you, brothers, if you want to do so.
Deep.
No, man, just my thing is now's the time to really look at starting your own business. Look at providing, how can you provide a service? Look at all the services that people are going to need. It's obvious that, they're talking about food. So now's the time to think about urban farming. It's the time to think about, grocery, being a grocer. Now's the time to start to think about things like that to provide those services, in the future. It's an opportunity.
Yeah, and I definitely want to, talk directly to the listening base for Uncensored Truth, Hip Hop Uncensored. Now is the time for all you young, intelligent, vibrant artists in the music industry to take your industry back. Stop signing to these labels. Start learning and understanding these 360 deals, learning how to privatize your business, start setting up your LLCs properly, and really change the economy around the music business. Now's the time to do it, because it's shifting, man, that depending on the paycheck is over. These companies are not going to just be coming and flying back here to the United States to produce things. And that applies to the music business as well. Because the majority of the listeners are inclined in that, now's the time, man, to, take the power back. It's the Hunger Games of the music industry, y'all. So now's the time to do it, man.
Word, yeah, my man. I'm looking in the comment section. Third degree burns. He left a great comment. It is the season of true entrepreneurship through direct to the consumer, producing through the internet. I think that was a great comment. Shout out to you on that one, because you see, what is it? It's damn near 2 billion people, if not more, sitting on YouTube right now.
Mm-hmm.
You see how marketing and promoting on that market and free marketing and able to provide content that's in abundance. You see people starting their own websites and things like that. You see the gaming blowing up. The internet's where it's at, man. And when you can promote your product to consumers directly, your way, at your speed, I mean, it's nothing like it.
Facts.
Then it's like no other. We were talking about that. Who would have thought that you and I would be able to go for where we went to be able to buy supplies, products, and provide our product to consumers for them to enjoy. This opportunity wouldn't be provided for us 2, 3, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We would have had to go to a radio station or somewhere, provide a resume, get turned down over and over and over again.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So it's like no other. Today it's in abundance, and it's really no excuse. So yeah, shout out to you on that comment for sure.
Real quick, that sounds a lot like what we were talking about earlier, doesn't it?
Yeah, we was rapping about it. Yep. Raymond Salgado put in the chat. He put, where can I get info on setting up an LLC properly? I'm starting an e-commerce business. I thought that would be a question for Kansu to answer. I don't know if you heard me, brother.
Yeah. You can reach me, brother, at Albert Higgins. That's ALB as in boy, ER as in Robert, T as in Tom, Higgins, HIGGINS 19 at gmail.com. I'll type that in the chat, and you can reach me, and I'll direct you and help you out, man.
He's gonna need SEO too, man. He's e-commerce. So
drop your info too, brother.
Yep. Darren, that's DARR. Let me put it in here. Let me see. Darren, DARRIN at RatelSEO.com.
Cool. Appreciate that, JD, comment in there.
Indeed, man. Well, we're still scrolling through the comments. We're gonna change gears a little bit. Mr. Blocky, my bad, 22. Hell, dudes be putting a beta on YouTube, and if a rapper don't get these nice beats, I don't know what that means, but shout out to you. What do you think of Future going in on Russell Wilson? Now, we talked about this a little bit in the pre-production a little bit. We weren't really going to make much light of the situation, but we heard it. Obviously, Future going in on Russell Wilson in regards to talking or listening to his wife. He answers to her. And that. What do you think about that whole Future Russell Wilson situation? Uncensored Truth. Uncensored Truth. And you're lying.
I mean, you know, I really don't think much about it, man. I think it's, you know, kind of corny. You know what I mean?
And Future's part of just in general to talk about.
Both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be honest, I mean, you know, it kind of is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly did he say? He was just kind of, he said he listens to everything she does or something like that.
Yeah, well, he's chatty patty shit.
Yeah. Kind of corny, man.
Chatty patty shit. He said, she said, he didn't let me see I didn't meet the baby daddy before they met the child. Chatty patty shit.
I mean, well, the other thing that Future came out.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. You know, with the drug situation, you know what I mean? He was pretty much came out and said that he didn't know that he influenced so many people. Do you have that in front of you? The rapper or something that he was influenced by Future's music.
I could definitely pull that up. Give me 1 second.
All right, no doubt. Everybody who's listening, go ahead and hit the like button. You're tuned into the Uncensored Truth Podcast on the official podcast channel. Everybody go ahead and drop your area codes in the chat box real quick. I see my man D-Red, the blue collar scholar in the building, full of Southern charm. Go ahead and drop your area codes in here while Sam Ant, you know, pulls it up. We're gonna talk about this, man, because what we can say about Future is he did an interview on one of these other stations and pretty much said that he stopped drinking lean, but he didn't feel like he needed to come out and tell people that he stopped, despite the fact that he, you know, pretty much influenced, I would say, hundreds of thousands of people to do this. Not that he forced them, but he did have an influence. Sam Ant, I'll turn it over to you.
Got that up for you right now, brother. Last year, now this is courtesy of Rolling Stone magazine. Last year, he joined up with the then teenage Chicago rapper Juice WRLD for the mixtape called World on Drugs. While working on it, Juice revealed that listening to Future's music inspired him to try lean as a child. That cut Future deep. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, here we go. When he told me that, I was like, oh shit, what the fuck have I done? He says, it really bothered me. It bothered me a lot. More than I thought it would bother me when he told me that. I didn't think I'd care about that stuff. 4 years ago, I probably would have cared. I probably wouldn't have, cared if he told me, oh, that was good. You was drinking. Now it's like, oh shit. How many other sixth graders did I influence to drink lean?
I mean, you can sit up there and he can sit up there and act like he doesn't understand his influence, but these guys know, and these rappers and singers know that when they get their asses up there on the stage, they don't even got to sing their lyrics because people are singing their lyrics. We got these little kids and everybody who can attest, who has children, they're singing all these different words to these songs, whether they mute them out or not. It's having an influence on them. You got kids talking about, you know, eating the booties like groceries, all types of nutty shit that these people are saying, talking about drinking lean, popping perks. And then again, like I always say, once that these rappers start to popularize it and they make it, these children think that it's cool to do. And our community, why I always say it influences us most is because we don't have a lot of those role models, not all of the time, but we don't have those positive role models. So you actually got people looking up to these nutty ass rappers and following everything that they do. They want to wear what they wear. They want to say what they say. They want to take the type of drugs that they take. It just is what it is. What do you think about the liquor? When we talk about, you know, they made that popular, Dame Dash, Jay-Z, and more rappers before that, but they started, you know, putting liquor beside them and starting to sell the liquor, you know, beside them, beside their brand. It's the same thing with the drugs. It works the same exact way. If you got guys showing double cups all the time, you know what I mean, promoting it, people are wanting to do this. Oh, what they put in there? The Sprite. They getting the promethazine.
The Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, the Jolly Rancher. And they making these drinks and they getting hooked on it. And we can go back. My man D-Red is in here. We can go back to DJ Screw and all them cats in Houston, you know, who really got it popping. But we talking about Future right now. He's influenced people. And I think that he should be held somewhat accountable, you know, for that. You know, and not just him. We can go down. There's been a lot of them.
Right. But you know what? The thing in particular about Future, and I'm not mistaken, I think it was last week that we talked about Andre 3000 kind of sneak throwing jabs. And we had a lot of people saying, oh, y'all didn't hear the whole interview. You didn't get the context. Right. Y'all didn't understand the context of what we were saying. Now, a lot of people also were saying, oh, you guys are hating on the youth. You're looking old right now. You guys didn't understand the context of what we were saying either. Mm-hmm. This is what we were saying right here. It's his open just ignorance and just arrogance to the fact that, yeah, your music was affecting tons and tons of people. we rewind back to when we first started this and we had the conversation on the effects of lean and in Future in particular, his music, because he was saying that it was noted that he wasn't even doing it, but he was still promoting it. And now he comes out and says he was afraid to even tell people he was not promoting lean because these 6th graders were buying my music and they were enjoying me saying lean in the song. Meanwhile, they're getting strung out on drugs and dying. Now, you asked the question about alcohol. Your Dame Dash is somebody that we admire. Jay-Z, somebody that we admire. They got to be held accountable too. Diddy,
Absolutely.
they got to be held accountable because alcohol kills and destroys as well. And you mix that with the lean and you mix that with the partying and you promote it as being this is where you get when you get to the height of quote unquote fame. This is what you're supposed to do. And you got young boys and young women out here aspiring to be that. Is wild. And we really do got to check our music. It's funny because my mom hit me today bugging. She was like, do you know so-and-so? My son was listening to dude, he had a tattoo on his face. He had this, he had that. Son was listening to Triple X, listening to one of his songs, listening to Moonlight. I listened to it with my son a couple times driving home. I'm aware of everything that he was listening to. I had to tell my mom, hey, relax, bop, bop, bop. But I appreciate that on it because you never know what these kids are listening to. You never know what's in the lyrics and it's influencing them. So for you to be ignorant on that, come on, man, you deserve better than that.
What do you say to the people who say, look, man, okay, the parents should be there in the household. I don't care what these rappers say. It's up to the parents to be the ultimate influence and make sure their kids don't go and dabble into that lifestyle. And also to put on the back end of that, them saying, I'm not role models. What do you think about that aspect?
I'm glad you asked that question. That's a good question. I think that the parents need to have accountability for the child. They need to. You need to know what your child is listening to. You need to know what's going on with the social media. You got to be involved in your child's life because it's so different now than when it was when we even grew up 10 to 15 years ago. We didn't have the cell phone. It wasn't as open as it was. The freedom wasn't there. We didn't have access to the world on our fingertips at 10, 11 years old. Just wasn't happening. So you got to be responsible. You got to be monitored. That said, things are going to get to them no matter how much you're on them or not. Because they're exposed to the world when they go to school. They're exposed to the world when they go to different activities. And then it's a phone and a dial away when you might not be around shit. You could be in the bathroom. You can't always be on them. That being said, you got to school them correctly and make sure that you know and they know what's right and what's wrong. Because too often we get lazy when it comes to the phone. It's easy just to go, yo, just go watch the phone when I'm involved in my own shit or I might be involved in my own phone. Meanwhile, this child is getting programmed to do, walk, think, whatever they want. So yeah, it's the child's, it's the parent's responsibility, but it's also the responsibility to instill proper value in a kid for when they're not around.
Xanax. Let's talk about the Xanax and let's talk about some rappers now, even more recently. Would you safe to say that they have switched out promotion of lean perks and now switched over to promoting now Xanax? Case in point, Drake. He has a song where he's talking about I popped the Xan, had me out like a light, slept through the fight. Kids pick that up. Xanax, is one of the worst things that you can get addicted to. Some people would even say that it's worse than Percocets or anything else that you can get addicted to. What do you say about that? Now rappers not even promoting Xans. You got the Boink, I think, gang, popping, like Skittles. Cats really just promoting this whole drug culture because it went all the way from guys just popularizing selling the drugs. Now it's cool to be a straight up drug dope fiend addict. What do you say about that? The Xanax part about that?
The interesting part about this whole drug epidemic situation, 10, 15 years ago, when all of this stuff really hit the scene, you remember ecstasy, Molly, you remember the perks, you remember the Xans. You remember all of this stuff was out at the same time. The lean, all of this stuff was out. But it wasn't until the music got a grab of it to where it really got popularized. And they really took their time. They popularized the Molly at first, and then it was the perks, and then we seen the lean, and now we diving into the Xannies. But it's all been out at the same time. They've all been sitting there digging into it. But we all know music influences the world. And when we hear the music and the vibration, it creates habit into our head, and that's what goes on. So when you're trying to sell lean at first, you're going to promote that and sell that. When you're trying to sell this at first, you're trying to do that. What am I saying? There may be an agenda or something behind this that is more cynical than meets the eye, Because why are you breaking it down into chapters? How all this shit come out, but y'all breaking it down into chapters to where now you sitting there picking up yo, why does it seem like now it seems they jumping off this bandwagon to jump on this when all this shit been out at the same time?
And it almost seems like it's a marketing plan. Like, all right, we start talking about it. We talk about this drug, and automatically now you can find it in the street.
Easy.
It's crazy. It's just like, okay, now people talking about, you know what I mean? Because when you in that scene or whatever, when you're growing up and people know people, so things are going to be accessible.
Right.
Whether it be somebody, somebody want to have fun, whether it be shrooms or whatever, things are around. We all know how it is. We ain't got to get too deep in that. You can find what you want to find in this world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just it's ironic to me that with the promotion of this in the rap song is readily available, in the streets. Now the big thing is fentanyl, out there. And all these drugs that we're talking about are handed to people through pharmaceuticals as well. Do the pharmaceutical companies also, need to, take responsibility as well?
Nah, no doubt.
Definitely.
They got to. Mm-hmm. If you promoting your product and you out here and it's killing people, now we see fentanyl. Mm-hmm. And it's just a real thin line drawn when you go to people that consume it in one community and people that consume it in another, and one's deemed someone that needs help and the other's deemed a criminal. Right. That goes without saying as well, but it's really affecting everybody in every culture, because we're not just seeing the black children die from it. We're seeing the white children. Mac Miller, I think, one of the other young rappers died from it. We see various other Hollywood celebrities trying to kill themselves or threatening to kill themselves from various drugs and overdoses and things like that. So it's affecting everybody right now. It's definitely an epidemic. And I'm glad we talked about it. Future needs to hold more responsibility, just to kind of bring it back to the overall premise of why we even brought it up. He has to assume more responsibility for his actions. I was never really an avid listener of Future to begin with, because I don't understand what the fuck he's talking about. Right. Don't want to hate on him though. If you out here and he's popular to a lot of people, make your money, do your thing. I'm not hating on you, but the message got to be better, bro.
Yeah, and that's I always say, if they use their influence for negative, it definitely could be used for positive. Definitely, these kids are trying to follow. They follow, LeBron as well. I was in, the sneaker store earlier. These kids want to get the LeBrons. They look up to these different people. We looked up to certain people, whether it been Michael Jordan or certain people in our time. It was just natural. But watching them on there do amazing things on the screen, and then we get to see a little bit of that character more so when they're doing their press conferences and answering questions. So you think that this person is like this, so you start wanting to be like this person. So whatever they do, you kind of want to do. So they do hold a responsibility, whether they like it or not. It's a lot of kids listening, to their music out there.
And why wouldn't you want to have a responsibility? I mean, the little responsibility that we have sitting here giving narrative and perspective on what we think is going on in the world of hip hop and whatever, that makes a difference. And we assume responsibility very quickly. When we started seeing numbers go up, we didn't get big heads or get cocky. No, we assume more and more responsibility. Like, listen, we got to tighten this shit up. We got to be objective. Our personal opinions, as hard as it may be, not to put them in and bleed them into the content. We got to keep that out of it to give a raw perspective for the people, for them to be able to voice their opinions on it. And of course, we're humans. We make mistakes. There's no production team. There's no writers. We're doing all this shit ourselves. But we try to stay as genuine as we can to that. And I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you tuned into the Uncensored Truth Podcast with your brother, Old God and Sandman. Going in tonight live on the Uncensored Truth Podcast channel. Get used to seeing us over here.
Yeah, we're changing it up a little bit tonight,
we're going to definitely, be over here getting it in. Now, people talking about Casanova's beef with Soulja Boy. I was just seeing that video. I seen it earlier. There's really nothing to really, for us to really discuss. I did see it. I can't help but to see it over Instagram, but it's just like whatever. They had a little couple words, but go ahead. Yeah.
Now, what I want to talk about it is a lot of people are overhyping that shit.
Pretty much.
No one got into a conflict. There wasn't anything crazy going on. You got a brother trying to school another brother. That was all love. And even the little thing that happened with the security guard, that's a man looking a man in the eye. It was all love. It was nothing going on. If you a man in any situation, if you don't know a guy and he's having this, there's nothing wrong with what happened there. A lot of people are blowing that out of proportion. We didn't see what happened to make Casanova even approach Soulja Boy like that, but it was obviously involving a woman. He made a guy out of line with a woman, so he may deserve to get checked. That's what older OGs are supposed to do.
When you think about Soulja Boy, a resurgence in the media, said a couple interesting statements, about entrepreneurship and us not wanting to support each other. What do you think about You know, he said also he's got a video game, trying to do some things. Would you say that is gimmicky, or would you say that this brother's serious about what he's trying to do and his message?
You obviously support the point and the logic when you hear it.
Yeah.
We're out here with entrepreneurs, with independents. You got to support your own. And far too often we don't get the support that we need from the people closest to us. And that's bothersome. So
Definitely.
We do need to support each other, no doubt. I can't help but to think, given Soulja Boy's past, given how he's doing these outbursts out here, how he's looking for attention, how are you expected to be taken seriously, fam, when you do these things and then you come out with a gaming system? Now, you brought up the Japanese. No one makes fun of them when they have Nintendo. They're always making fun of Microsoft when they come out of this. Absolutely, you're right. And I think people would have taken you a lot more serious if you have came and laid out the structure a lot more professional and a lot more thorough, and you had something going on with it. I think the support would have been there a lot more. But when you come out and display it in the way that you display it, there's obviously some, all right, now that's some bullshit.
Yeah,
but I 100% agree with you.
Nah, that's real.
You know what I mean? You gotta, if we can't say that just because it's popular, just because it's easy to say. No, we gotta own up to some culpability too. We can't say people aren't supporting us or celebrities ain't riding with us because we the black platform. Nah, listen, we gotta go, okay, we might just have to bust down some more doors. We might have to just go in their face and say what's up. We may have to do this, we may have to do that. Right. But nothing's stopping us. Nothing's gonna be the reason why we can't.
Word.
You know what I mean?
I definitely agree with you on that, man. In closing, I want to and it's funny, I was just getting ready to talk about Umar Johnson. Somebody put Umar Johnson,
I see some comments in here, man. See Bella too, real quick. When we do another Liddy interview?
We're always working, to try. We were trying to get something going tonight, possibly if we could, but it'll be real soon. Definitely, within a week or so. We're trying to always work to get people on a platform. So definitely, just stay tuned. Make sure you hit all the alert bells for every platform. You'll see it. We upload like crazy. But yeah, we had Dr. Umar Johnson's his father on last night. Powerful interview. Since then, we've seen that Dr. Umar has responded, posting that he will be pretty much talking about the school February 14th, I think it was. Let me pull the actual what it actually set up in a moment. I'll have it for you. Here we go. It says State of the FDMG official address, Thursday, February 14th, 2019. Notice it's kind of ghetto. But anyway, I'll show that, to y'all right there. So Sam, man, what do you think about the overall interview? And now Umar once again saying that he's going to give the State of the FDMG official address on Valentine's Day, 2019.
To answer your first question, I have nothing but the utmost respect for Mr. Johnson. I appreciate him for taking the time out and really giving an interview and being open and honest as he can. I don't want to say I pity any man, but I feel bad for a father right now going through some real hard times, loving his son genuinely, obviously going through some turmoil with his son, but still loving and being loyal to his son, wanting him to own up to where is the money and what's going on with the school, owning up and wanting us to hold Umar accountable for his actions. Everything I could respect. 100% agree with it. As far as Umar is concerned, someone that I've once respected a lot and someone that I enjoyed listening to. I think this brother's becoming more and more full of shit.
Woo! Dang.
Every post. Where's the school or where's the money? Now, y'all can say in the comment section that I don't deserve this. I'm a coon. I'm a this. I never took anything from somebody and did not provide receipt on where the fuck it was if I said I was going to do something. It is that simple. We talked about DJ Envy buying a school up north, and a lot of people also dropped in that comment. Hey, but he's doing this and turning it into a complex. He's not doing it at school. Y'all messing up. This ain't this. Listen, the fact of the matter is that brother saw a school. He bought a school. And because he's genuine and he cares about what he's doing what he wants to do with that school. If Umar would have just genuinely bought a school and realized, hey, I'm a little bit in over my head. A lot of the funds that I wanted to do, I'm getting leaks, I'm getting this, I'm getting that. I'm sorry, people, I tried. Here's your building. Let's either put some more into it to try some more, or I apologize, it didn't work out. No one is sitting here being critical of that man right now. All respected. But you sitting here not giving anybody any solid answers, not giving legitimate business people any blueprint or background as to what's going on, and you're trying to just have people be ignorant. and say, nah, it's coming. Meanwhile, while you're not busy, drop $75 in my Cash app so I could talk to you about your children. But I don't want to talk to your children. I want to talk to y'all, moms. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. It's a pretty sad situation. It's definitely a pretty sad and like Umar's dad was kind of saying, the people, not enough people are speaking up about it. Not enough. It's probably 10 on the internet, maybe a little more, but if thousands of people gave their money, what are the rest of the people, speaking up in outrage? But I definitely hope that something, some type of resolution comes out. It's supposed to be January the 1st. That was supposed to be an announcement. It was a picture that the brother put up, of like he had the building with the key going in. But now you move it. He said he's going to give an address of what happened. Then let me correct myself. A few days after he didn't respond to the January 1st announcement, he said that everything is still good. They're just working on paperwork. Now, if they're going to talk about it on the 14th, which he says is Frederick Douglass's birthday. Like, all this stuff is gimmicky to me, man. Thursday, February 14th, the 201st birthday of Frederick Douglass. Like, I mean, like, it's gimmicky shit now. Like, it's disrespectful to even, to do that. But that kind of is what it is. If people don't see it for what it is at this point, I kind of feel sorry for you at this point. But I think I see it for what it is. I know I see it for what it is.
Yeah, so do I. And it's unfortunate because we didn't want this to happen. We were supporting it. We wanted to see a school. Point blank, period. But we got to do a job. And like his father said yesterday, a lot of the supporters now must hold this man accountable. So that's what we're doing. I want to talk real quick because I know we're about to get out of here. This has been great. We didn't honestly even expect to be on here on this show as long as we did, but it ended up happening. It's dope. Full of Southern charm. Somebody that supported us since we started. So appreciate you, love. One of the moderators of the channel. She asked us a question on that. I'm going to drop this. Will y'all ever include a little bit of personal information about yourselves?
Like what?
That's a great question. What do you want to know?
Yeah, like what?
Like how personal? Like what do you mean personal?
You have to clarify that. We'll give you a second to clarify that. He says, I love your interview with Hassan Campbell. Your thoughts on the Hassan Campbell interview? I don't think we talked about that much afterwards.
Nah. Shout out to Hassan for coming on the platform. I think we asked the question that needed to be asked. I think after the interview was over and the conversation that Hassan and we had after the podcast was over, I think the energy was well. I think it was great.
And they went back and started bitching on his platform. He started crying like a bitch.
Wow.
He started crying like a bitch.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he did. It is what it is. I expected it.
I didn't see that. Yeah. It doesn't matter to me because we're moving forward.
Yeah, like
we
I
had
said.
an interview on Tuesday. Who do we have on Tuesday?
Shit.
Mr. Bass.
Yeah, that was Friday, wasn't it?
Was that last Friday?
Yeah, it was Friday.
Been so many.
Yeah, so excuse us.
So many. we talking to a lot of great people. We actually been talking to. I'm just gonna let the cat out to the bag for the short people that's in here. Paul Mooney. We've been in discussion with him and his people to get Paul Mooney on the podcast. I had a conversation with Jay Hood today. I didn't even tell you about that.
Oh shit!
So I haven't talked to having him on there, and obviously shout out to our brother Kenyatta Griggs over at Hip Hop Motivation.
Yep.
Supposed to get Dame over here, but Dame's busy doing his own shit.
Yeah, it's all
good though.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, man.
No, but I wish all the cats the best though. You know what I mean? I just thought it was kind of. We move on quick over here, man. We did an interview. We asked the question that we was gonna ask, and we moved on, man. So no hard feelings over here.
Yeah, absolutely. No hard feelings. Keep doing your thing. I got what I needed to get out of the whole situation and moving forward. She said that what did she say? Hey, what she say? Just birthdays and how we send y'all things on your birthday. I'm not trying to invade. What's your birthday? Oh God, what is your
My birthday's May the 27th.
Yeah, and I'm October 21st. So y'all can send whatever y'all want.
And what we do is I have a business address where you guys will be able to send things. If you want us to wear things, I'll get that out to you real shortly. But we do have that. I understand what she means. Sometimes people want to send you merch, certain things to wear. I get it.
And yeah, so we need that because we're looking to kind of promote any independent fashion designers, or anybody that has product that they want us to wear or promote on the platform. Those opportunities will definitely be provided to you because we want to start getting out of the name brand stuff and start promoting your products as we got products going on. You see, oh God, with the viral hat. Yeah. Salute to you, brother, on that. And I often wear my Hip Hop News Uncensored shirt. So we're getting products, doing a lot of great things for 2019. Scorpio. See, I'm a Libra. I'm right on the cusp. I think I'm 21st is the last day of Libra, and then it's the 22nd starts Scorpio. So
okay. Oh, she's a Scorpio. I mean, you know what they say about the Scorpios.
yeah, well, my son's mom's a Scorpio. I know all about that.
Yeah.
All about that.
See you, Bella. But yeah, man, another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast in the books. You know, once again, every Friday night we usually go live on Hip Hop News Uncensored, but we got caught up on a nice little, discussion on government shutdown over here. So we had to come through on this channel. But like I said, get used to us over here because this is the official channel where we're going to be giving y'all all the exclusive hot fire content. Fuck the Saints.
Right you seen that in the comment section?
Nah, it's all good, Jay Murray, man. Peace to you, man.
Who's winning this weekend? Oh God, Rams or Saints? I know you don't care because the Birds went down, but who's winning this weekend?
The Saints should win. They definitely should win. So I'll go with the Saints. And I'm gonna go with the Patriots, man. Saints, Patriots, Super Bowl, Breeze. Yeah, but the Rams do have the talent to knock them boys off. The Eagles should have beat y'all last week. You know that, Jay Murray. You know it. We was gonna beat y'all. But anyway, go ahead.
It's all good. You know what? I'm gonna go opposite of you just for the sake of going opposite. I'm gonna go Rams, Chiefs.
Okay.
I would like to see that. I would love to see the Chiefs against either one of the teams in the NFC because you got two great offenses with the Saints and with the Rams. So that would be entertaining either way. Right. And I want to see what the young boy can do, man. I want to see what Mahomes can do. Like Andy Reid, even though I hated him when he was in Philly. Great guy, good coach. He deserves to get over the hump, but he's facing Belichick and Brady.
Is Brady the best quarterback ever? Max Kellerman said he was the best ever. I think Belichick said that too.
Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback to ever live.
Over Joe Montana?
Hell yeah. And we kind of came in, we watched Joe Montana, but we were young. We weren't able to appreciate him. When you talk about Tom Brady, let me turn this down real quick. Because you talk about Tom Brady, you know I was a Michigan fan to death.
Yeah.
Michigan fan. So I watched Tom Brady's bum ass back up Brian Greasy. Bum.
Yeah.
He was a bum.
Yeah, true.
A bum. Goes into the league, gets drafted in the 6th round. Bledsoe gets hurt. And all of a sudden, the rest is history. He did that his rookie year.
Right.
We were talking about this 10-year challenge thing and people talking about if they look different nowadays as opposed to what they're doing after 10 years. And it made me think, well, damn, you hear the NFL talking about who won the Super Bowl 10 years ago? And it made me think, it was like, damn, the Patriots might have won the Super Bowl 10 years ago.
Probably.
Tom Brady won the Super Bowl 10 years ago. He's still doing it at 40.
Right.
Man, he's the greatest of all time, man.
Yeah, I have to definitely, agree at this point. But shout out to Eric Lopez, Jay Murray, Mogul Minds. We appreciate the comment, full of Southern charm. Shante Johnson, George W. Bush up in here in the building, and everybody else, Cia Bella, of course, that listens to the podcast. Yes, sir. That's all
Mr.
I
Block
got,
is about to get blocked with that Ohio State shit. Don't be bringing that in my podcast in my chat room, man.
Oh yeah, he's a Michigan fan.
Oh man, peace to you, brother. We appreciate each and every one of y'all out here, man. If we don't got any more questions, which I don't think we do, we'll make sure we get all of them this evening.
Let me mind my man up real quick.
Indeed, man. But we appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all can start coming here a lot more. We'll do this a lot more, but still stay tuned every Friday evening at 8 p.m. exclusively on Hip Hop News Uncensored. Still be providing the uncensored truth, real raw and uncut over there, man. But yeah, shout out to y'all.
Yes, sir. With that being said, everybody hit the like button. And if you get a chance, go ahead and share that video. It's all good, Mr. Block Ice 22.
Pac-Man or Broner? I wanted to ask you that. Pac-Man or Broner? Your thoughts. Pac-Man, Broner tomorrow.
Pac-Man gonna beat the brakes off, bro.
Woo!
He's gonna beat the brakes off him. It'd probably be a decision, but I think he'll win.
I want to see Broner win, but I got Pac-Man a decision, man.
Yeah, I don't think Broner has that eye of the tiger, man. If he can show me that, I think he, just all, talk for this guy. I don't think he has it.
We will see. Maybe we'll go split screen tomorrow. I'm trying to get old guy to the crib so we can watch it live tomorrow evening.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hopefully we'll do a live broadcast on there. Pac-Man. We get Pac-Man throughout. I think Pac-Man gonna do it in 12. If Broner gets too slick, Pacquiao can knock your ass out.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't sleep on him.
Ab in 3? What?
You got Ab in. You lucky I'm not a bet man because I put money on that.
Man,
that ain't happening.
Nah,
he's not taking him out in 3.
Now the winner, do they go against Mayweather or no? Is that working that or no? No, not.
They're gonna talk about it. They're gonna try to hype it. If the money's right, Broner Mayweather would be dope. Even though I think Mayweather would dissect him and tear him and break him apart too. And break him apart.
He ain't winning. He ain't not losing. In the next 5 years, he won't lose unless some young gun comes up. I'm talking about Mayweather.
He's not getting in there with a young gun.
Yeah,
he could pick and choose now. He ain't getting in there with him.
Yeah, he broke the record. Didn't he? Broke the record.
Yeah,
he broke the record. Definitely. But yeah, man, another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast is in the books. As you know, viral hip hop news Uncensored, and this channel, the Uncensored Truth Podcast. drops content all week long. Make sure you're subscribed to those channels. Also, hiphopun.com is the official website for all your articles that come out on hip hop. That's all I got over here, fam.
Yeah, shout out to everyone in the chat room right now. Shout out to each and every one of y'all that support all three platforms, like Gogo said. Viral Hip Hop News, Hip Hop News Uncensored, and right here, of course, the Uncensored Truth Podcast official channel.
Yep.
Keep the comments coming. Keep the positive motivation coming. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Yeah, man, we out of here.
Yes, sir.
Let's get that post-production going, brother.
Yeah, man. Peace.